I had a recipe that I did the first time around, which was for my tortillas. And it was a really good recipe, but in my heart I felt like, well, it maybe needed some tweaking. So I'm tweaking it. And I tweaked it and worked on it. And I think, as of today, I finally have it. This is a recipe that I want to share with you. So I'm rebooting my tortilla recipe. Okay, so we'll start off with 6 cups of flour. In my first recipe, I used 5 cups of flour, but I've increased it to 6. And this is just 6 cups of all-purpose flour. I have a tablespoon of salt. I have 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 2 to 3 cups of water, and I'm heating that up. Now, I'm heating it up on the stove as opposed to microwaving it or anything, because as I'm heating it, I'll be able to see the temperature of water, and as it's getting hotter. I want this water to heat up to about as hot as I can stand it. So we also used half a cup of lard, okay? This is lard right here, and this is just about half a cup. You can also use maybe half a cup of shortening if you'd rather use vegetable shortening as well. There are certain different things that you can use to substitute instead of using manteca. Manteca is a traditional way. This is what my grandmother used, and this is the way I'm going right now. It adds to the flavor, but again, like I said, there are certain things that you can substitute with. Some folks I even know have used butter. I'd rather not do that, and I'll tell you why later on. Then I'll go ahead and I will add my manteca. Break that up. Using a pastry cutter helps quite often. Now, as you see what I'm doing, and again, this is the kung fu I was talking about. This is such a secret. I almost can't believe that I'm sharing it with you, but I'm going to go ahead and share it with you anyway, because it's important that we pass on these traditions. You want to break up this manteca in your flour mixture as much as possible. So I've been working on this flour and the mixture with the shortening or manteca, for about 4 or 5 minutes now. And it seems to be, if you look closely, pretty well blended. You want to have your water, and you want to build yourself a little hole there in your flour mixture. And then add a little bit of water. This is how I do it. You're going to have to find your own way of making it work, okay? But if you watch this, this will help. This is a trick, and this is one of the things you'll have to work towards. So it's a little hot, but I'm going to go ahead and I can bear it. I can stand it, and that's what you want from this water. I'm going kind of just back and forth with the flour mixture, incorporating a little bit at a time. I know you see I'm using just one hand right now, but that's because it's not that much of a mixture. And I'm just kind of rolling this little ball of what was flour. As you can see, I'm kneading this just a little bit right here. Okay? Squeezing it, rolling it, folding in the rest of the flour. That feels pretty good to me right there. I'm incorporating my other hand now. And again, all I'm doing is squeezing it, rolling it, squeezing it, and rolling it. It's kneading is what it is. So I go back over here and make myself another little hole. Add a little bit more water. And we're going to do the same thing all over again. Now you want to try and do this as quick as possible, because every second that your water is now off the fire, it's going to start to cool off, and you want your water actually to remain warm. This is the whole reason why you want to heat it up to the point that you can just stand it on your hands, okay? Now what we're doing is combining those 2 little mounds right now. Okay? See what I'm doing? Kneading. As you're doing your tortillas, you want to grab your big ball of flour, your big, your masa, and start cleaning your bowl. As you can see, my bowl is just about clean. This is soft. It's workable. Okay, this is what you want your masa to look like. Something very soft. okay? Something you can still work with afterwards. You know, I pound it in with my fist a little bit, turn it over. See that? That's a good one right there. So now I'm gonna give it time to rest. I'll start at 30 minutes making my tostadas. That's a tostada. See the back, see the top. That's a tostada. So what we're gonna do right now is just gonna go ahead and let everything rest for a while. Okay? Hold on. You wanna grab a handful. How much exactly? It's whatever fits in your hand, about so much. I always take this part out. Why? Because that's the way we always did it. It's what my mother did, it's what my grandmother did, it's how we learned to do it. And it happens to make the right size tortilla. These are the fingers that are going to do the magic here, plus this part of your hand. So you're going to start by pushing with these fingers, pushing that in, pushing that in. This part of your hand right here will help push this over. And as it does, whatever this worked in, this hand reinforces. You know, the most important thing is that you've got to just figure out how this is going to work. Eventually, it's this fast. And that's all. This is what's going to help you roll out a really nice round tortilla. Learn how to make your tostadas. That's going to be a big part of it. Learn to roll out your tostadas. They have a little bit of stickiness to them, which is okay, you know, so you want to maybe just sprinkle a little bit of flour on them. Sprinkle a little bit of flour wherever you're going to roll them out. Make sure you get a little bit of flour on your rolling pin. It's what's going to help. 1 and 2. And when you're going to turn it, you just want to give it a quarter of a turn, barely a turn. You can go down or up. I'm choosing to do that. Again, and just another little bit of a turn, down and up. This is what I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, start to roll out just a little bit, not too much pressure, just enough, just enough, just enough, just enough. Not too hard, you don't want to stretch it out too much. That's it. There are different kinds of comales, okay? This one has to be made of cast iron, but you can use one that can be, you know, a steel one. There's all kinds of whatever you find in your supermarket. This is the other trick you have to learn. You have to learn the temperature that's going to work best on your stove. It's usually going to be a low heat, okay? And then gently, we're going to just kind of toss it on there. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're constantly going to be counting in your head. Flip it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flip it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, one thing to keep in mind. For one, it's hot. 2, your first tortilla on the comal is going to be hot. As you continue to make tortillas, that temperature is going to go down. So don't freak out that it was too hot. Give it a chance to keep cooking. So we did that tortilla. Let's put the next one on. We already know it's kind of maybe gone down a notch or two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In the meantime, you need to start on your next one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Right? Flip it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, gentle. 7, 8, 9, 10. This one's done. Let's go on to the next one. When you're making tortillas, it's going to be this way. One after the other. Let's keep going. We've got these tortillas. We just keep going. We're going to be making tortillas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, see how it's sort of starting to cool off a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you might want to just look. That looks good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, making tortillas is the epitome of multitasking. You see these little bubbles as they're coming up? This is a good thing. This is the sign that you let your masa sit. It's a sign your tortillas are coming out nice and fluffy and wonderful. Testing out your tortillas with a little bit of butter. Heaven. It's the way to go. That's when you know. As you can see, I'm not counting out loud anymore. In my mind, I'm still counting. 4, 5, 6, 7. I hope you get a chance to do this. It is work, but let me tell you, it is so worth it. Your family will love you. The aromas that you have in your household are amazing. Amazing. Those are the memories that good cooking does for you. And it brings your family home to say, I can't wait till when I smell Mom making tortillas. This is why I taught myself to make them for my kids, for my husband, for them to have those memories, that warmth that cooking brings to you. This is why I love cooking. This is why I love to bring to you what my mother brought to me, what my grandmother brought to me, which was love for cooking and cooking with love. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Thanks a lot.